we are beginning the lesson 43. The page Yud Dalet 14, Hasulam, the left column, the line 5. So he had told us that the head of Arihanpin is called Atika Kadisha, the holy Atik. And the Binah, the Garde Binah, the three first Sfirot of the Binah, they are called in the name Satim Atika, concealed Atika. And this is because just I had explained a little bit that this is because the this Garde Binah dresses upon the body goof of the Arihanpin. And the goof is considered always, every goof is considered as concealed. It means because the next partsuf, the lower partsuf, dresses the higher partsuf that adjacent is to him from the peh and below. So addresses the body of the higher partsuf. And this is why this is called Satim Atika, the Binah. 5. With the Amro, the high Satim Atika, the Kaima 6 Leshila, Bara Eile, Glomar, Rakazat Shel High 7 Satim Atika, Hanikra Yishsut, Shehem Pchinat Kaima 8 Leshila, Dainu Lekabel Betocham, Etazon, Al Yidei 9, Aliyat Man, Ki Sheila Pirusho, Aliyat Man, Milashon 10, Shoalin Al Hageshamim. Point. Before we will translate this, I would like to recall what we are studying now. This ode, in this ode, the word is given to Rabbi Elazar. Rabbi Elazar stands on the view that actually he asks himself. He wants to know, he wants to grasp which level created Eile, created Zon, Zeirampin and Nukva. And this is why he starts the ode with the word Breshit. He looks at this word Breshit, the first word of the Torah. The word, the first word in the act of the creation, of the act of the creation. And then he sees that the creation is Zeranpin and Nukwa. But then he asks who had created this zone? Which level? And he looks at this word bara, as it is written in the Tanakh. Somewhere, it doesn't matter in which place. He already said it. Then bara means outside. So outside of the Atzilut. And then he sees that there are some discrepancy. How it's possible that the world was created in the world Bria. And so he builds up all his reasoning, his step-by-step grasping of things. But this corresponds to his level of grasping of things on the ladder, on the spiritual ladder. The left column, the line 5. Vize Amro, and this is what the Zohar says. The high Satim Atika, that this concealed Atika, the Kaima 6 Lesheila, that stands to upon asking questions or placing questions. 6. Literally, bara eile, created these ones. Klomar, that means rak hazat shel hai satim atika, only the zat, only the 7 lower sphirot of this 7 satim atika, of this concealed atika, that are called anikraot, that are called yeshsut, shehem b'chinat kaima l'sheila, that they are the subject or the aspect of kaima l'sheila, that they stand to placing of, that they literally that they stand to the question. They are open for receiving the question. What does it mean? 8. Dehainu. That means lekabel betocham et azon, to receive in them, within them, the zon, al yedei aliyat man, due to the rising of man. 9. Ki sheila pirusho, because a question means aliyat man, the rising up of the man, milashon, from the expression in the Talmud, in the beginning of the Masechet, of the Tractat Ta'anit, Tractat of, how do you call it, fasten. To fast, yes, abstain food to fast. There is a special tractate of Talmud is dedicated to this question. And over there it is written, ten shoalin ala geshamim. They are asking for rains. Asking for rains, this is actually the same as rising up the man. Ten. Welmer Shirak 11 Hazad Dehai Satim Atika Hanikraot Yishsud Shehen 12 Kayamot L'Sheila Dehainu Lekabel Man L'Hamshachat 13 Or HaChochma Lihyotan Mechusarei Chochma Shelifnei 14 Ze Hen Nechshavot Levchinat Bria Ve'al Ken Bara 15 Eile Shehem Hazon Anikraim Eile. Point. Here, 10 after the point. He explains this very profoundly and still very easy. So, Wilmer, and he says, the Zohar, the meaning of what the Zohar says. Shirak 11 Hazat Dehai Sati Matika, that only the Zat, the 7 lower Sfirot of this Satim Atika, of this Bina, Anikraot Yishsud, that are called Yishsud. Shehen 12 Kayamot L'Sheila, that they are standing for a question, standing to receive, as it were, to receive the question. That they are standing in it means they are ready to receive questions. A question. And question is a shortage. 12. Dehainu, that means lekabel man, to receive man, lehamshachat or hachochma, for the drawing of 13 light of the light chochma. This is what they are asking for, the zone, and they can ask this only Yishsud, only the 7 lower Sfirot of the Bina, because only the 7 lower Sfirot of the Bina can receive a light of Chochmah. Because the Gar of the Bina, they are always in Hasadim. Lihyot 16 after the first comma. Lehiotan bechosarei chochma, because they are they have lack of chochma. Shelifnei 14 ze and nechshavot, that because of this they are considered levchinat bria, as aspect of bria. He speaks about now about the Yishsut also, because also Yishsut stands under the Chazeh, and Yishsut also in a normal state. Look, in a normal state, Yishsut doesn't have Chochma in Katnut. Yishsut in Katnut receives all the same, like Bina, he receives Chasadim, because Yishsut, his own nature is Bina. Always Bina. So, as Bina, he doesn't need or Chochma, light Chochma. But when the Zon rise up the man to Yishsut, then the Yishsut asks for Chochma, and they are of similar structure. Yishsut is 6 lower Sfirot, and the Zon also are 7 lower Sfirot. So they resemble each other, they have the same traits, and they come from the same place. From the Zon comes from the lower Bina, and the lower Bina is Yishsut, already in the 4 stages of the light. So they always use this way, through Yishsut receive Chochma. And then Yishsut connects himself with the, rises up, of course, to the Abouima, or connects himself with the Abouima, because Abouima also rise up 1 stage above. And then they are standing in the head of the Arichanpin. Abouima stands in the head of the Arichanpin, then gives this Chochma to her place, where Yishsut now is standing, where Yishsut rose up to the place of the Abouima, and then Yishsut gives it the Chochma to their own place, to their standard place, and at that standard place stands now Zon, so it can give them Chochma. And further we will learn it more detailed. So he says that this Yishsut is considered as Bria of Atzilut. Valken 14 after the comma, Bara Eile. And this is why this Yishsut, Bara Eile, created these ones. Bara, because this is the level of Yishsut, of Bara, of the Bria, of the Atzilut. And the Zon are standing 1 step lower, under the Tabor, so a higher level creates a lower level that stands next lower, or at the next lower step from this higher. Shehem, that these eile, that these ones are zon, as Zeranpin and Nukva Hanikraot eile, that are called eile. Point. So now he sees, the Zohar through the eyes of Rabbi Elazar, sees that the Yishsut created these ones, Zon. Point. V'nivra'u gam hem 16 bakocham b'mechusarei rosh kamo. Point. V'nivra'u gam hem, and also they, the zon, are created 16 bakocham in their strengths, b'mechusarei rosh kamohu, lacking the rosh kamohu, as these ones, as the Yishsut. And this is also the law, that if the higher doesn't have higher level, doesn't have head, and it creates another level that then this level doesn't have head. The same structure. Only at the moment of creating a lower stage, the Yishsut, of course, makes a connection connects itself to themselves to Abu Ima and makes Gadlut, of course, because only in Gadlut one can create, one can make children. So it means that they must come to the Gadlut. Then we can say that in the Gadlut, Yishsut has a head. We could think like this. But actually, with Yishsut and Binah, we see that they connect to each other, and the Yishsut are staying then in their trait of Zat, because not that they are getting bigger, a large Gadlut, due to the growth of their head, to getting their head, their own head, but instead they connect themselves to the head. They get the head by connecting themselves to Abu Ima. Then Abu Ima is her head, is a real head of the Binah, and they are still 7 lower. This is why also even though the Binah is it comes in the Gadlut, and the zone are created without the head. But we will see. This is just a small, I add something, maybe you would have questions how it's possible, so maybe it helps. 16. Ki hamila bara, 17, mora, al hisaron rosh, mivchinat atzilut. Point. And the similar reasoning might also Rabbi Elazar have had, what we hear now from Hasulam. That now he said to us that bara eile, so he, the Yeshut, created eile, these ones. 16 after the point. Ki hamila bara, because the word bara, created, means 17. Mora, teaches, literally, points out, al chisaron, teaches about the lacking of rosh, mivchinat atzilut, from the aspect of the atzilut. Point. Because Yeshut also stands under the chazeh. That this is why he doesn't have, and this is only 7 lowest sfirot of the Binah. Doesn't have rosh, doesn't have head. If we say that level doesn't have head, how can something live without head? It's impossible. The same is also in the spirituality. But how can he say that Yeshua doesn't have head and Zon doesn't have head as well? Not to forget that everything has 2 aspects, a general aspect and a particular aspect. In a general aspect, of course, that Yeshua doesn't have a head, because it is a part of the Binah. And in a general, the Abba V'Ima are head, the Gar, the 3 first Sfirot. But this is in a general aspect. And in a general aspect, Yeshut are only 7 lowest Sfirot of the Abba V'Ima, without head, without their own head. But in a particular aspect, of course, they have their own head. If we would look at the Yeshut at their own, then we would see that, of course, these 7 lower Sfirot of Yeshut form 10 Sfirot of their own, and have also a head. But of course, this is not a real head. This is a head of the body, we can say it. But normally, it has also a head, a particular head of its own. In the same way, we speak about the embryo, about the stage of, let's say, the smallest stage of the spiritual object or spiritual grasping of things, condition. When Ibur, the name is Ibur, like embryo, when this level has only light, something from the light of nefesh, and kli, something from the kli keter, the lowest level. Of course, in this stage, this level doesn't have a head, a fully head, it means that a fully head that would receive the mochin of the gar. Of course not. But still it has a head, its particular head. So try this, look at things in this, from this, out of this perspective. And it applies always. So keep it in mind. 16, we had now 17 after the point. So he said to us that this word bara, created or outside, teaches about the, or shows the lack of rosh, of head, from the aspect of Atzilut. Point. Vize Shomer 18. Uman ihu mi, double point. Vize Shomer, and this is what he says, Zohar, our Zohar says. 18. Uman ihu, and who is this? Who is this one who created them? Me. This is, the name of this is me. Mem Yud. We will see what is me. Okay, we saw that it is Yeshsud. And look at this me, Mem and Yud. Double point. Hazat de Bina. Shehen Omdot 19 Lesheila. Hen Nikraot Mi. Mem Yud. This is why he places this double, how do you call it? Between the mem and quotation marks. Yes, so 2 quotation marks. This is how the abbreviations are made up in Hebrew. And he could just place them together to make a word mem yud, me. Why does he divide this? To show us also probably about the gematria of this me. Mem and yud, there are more than only gematria, but also gematria. You see, mem is 40 and yud is 10, together is 50. We will see, 50 is Binah, remember. We will see. 18. Hazat de Binah. the Zat of the Bina, the 7 lower of the Bina, Shehen Omdot L'Sheila, that they are standing to receive a question. 19. Hen Nikraot Mi, they are called Mi, Mem, Yud. Ve'aleihen Nofelet Lashon 20 bara. And about them is said it applies to them, it applies about them literally. It applies the expression of 20 bara, of bara, this word bara. Kanal, as it was said above. Ki hen atzman nasu bchinat bria, because they themselves became the aspect of bria. 21. Michamad haparsa shebechaze de arichan bin Hamevadelet Otan 22 Miharat Rosh de Arichan Bin 20 after the second comma. Ki hen atzman, because they themselves, the Zad de Bina, O Yishsud, Nasu Pchinat Bria, they became as the aspect of Bria. So they came out of the Atzilut. It means out of the Atzilut of the Atzilut. And are standing in the Bria of the Atzilut. Michamad HaParsa, because, why it is like this? Because of the Parsa, the division line, She Bachazeh the Arichan Bin, that is in the Chazeh of the Arichan Bin, Hamevadelet Otan, which Parsa divides them, 22, Miharat Rosh, better to say scheiden, scheiden, yeah, divide, but this a little bit, divide is a little bit difficult here, divides them from the shining of the Rosh of the Arichan Bin. Point. Separates, yeah, very good. Because this Parsa, that in the Hachazeh of the Arichan Bin, separates them from the shining of the Rosh of the Arichan Bin. Of course, the Rosh, the light in the Rosh. Kanal, as it said above. But because in the Rosh we have, of the Arichan Bin, we have Chochmah, and this Chochmah comes actually up till the Chazeh, because the Abouiba doesn't need this Chochmah, so, and they want only Chasadim. So the Masach in the Rosh of the Arichan Bin doesn't work actually in the Peh, because of the Abouim, they want Chasadim, and there was no restriction on the light Chasadim. This is why only from the Chazeh up till the Chazeh is actually the Atzilut of the Atzilut. Atzilut means Chochmah. The word Atzilut, the world Atzilut is also Chochmah. So when we are speaking about Atzilut, that means that over there is light Chokhmah, or light of Gar. And outside of the Atzilut means that there is no Chokhmah like the Yishsut, under the Chazeh, from Yishsut and below. And remember what we have said, what we had said at the last lesson, that of course in the general aspect, this is only in the general, and in the general aspect, there is a general aspect and a particular aspect. In the general aspect is, all the Atzilut is Chokhmah, and also Yishsut is Chokhmah, and Zod is Chokhmah. But in a particular aspect, when we are speaking about the world Atzilut as a unit, then we see that under the Chazeh is no Chokhmah in relation to the above the Chazeh. Always try to see things in the spirituality in relation to what? Not as something like this is like this and this is like this, definition just from something. But in relation to what? Because there are, we can say, Or Choser, the reflected light. There are probably 12 different kinds of Or Choser. So we can see many things that have different numbers that are called the same, in the same word. But there can be a variation of that term, of that item in different relations. If you take every sphera, Keter, there is a range of different spiritual items that can be applied the term Keter, and they can be look completely controversial. So always keep it in mind. Uh, 22, after the second point. וזה שאומר, מקצה 23 השמיים לאלה, דכולה קיימה ברישותה. 24. הזד דבינה, שהן נקראות ישסות, ונקראות מי. הן 25, מבחינת קצה השמיים לאלה. כי השמיים הם 26 זעיר אנפין, והוא מקבל רק מישסות הנקרא מי. Here is we can place just after the word me in the line 26, we can place a dot, a point. 22. And now he speaks about the positioning, how it is positioned. The Zohar speaks about this. You see, sometimes the Zohar calls things like in the terminology of the Kabbalah. But very often and mainly the Zohar calls the spiritual objects, or spiritual items, with different words, different expressions, to make an, how do you call it, to underline, to understrepen, to underline, probably to stress a particular aspect of what the Zohar is speaking about. There are only a few books of the Zohar that are dealing with the terminology, that are written in the terminology of the Kabbalah. So Safra de Tzniuta, and Idra Zutra, Idra Rabba, so three, I think, not more. But the others are written in this language that they are calling this Midrash, allegorical. It is not always like this, but they call it in one word Midrash, because there are, in general can we say it, but there are, within the Zohar itself, there are texts of a great volume of texts which are called Midrash Neilam. The Midrash that is not takes place from that not a part is of the normal Midrash that we have. Midrash, 5 books, Midrash on the Torah, explanation of the Torah, but Midrash Neilam, Midrash a hidden, a concealed Midrash. And there are some other aspects that are also has a great deal of the Midrash, in real Midrash in the Zohar. It is interesting that the real Midrash, Yehuda Ashlag, doesn't provide normally doesn't provide with the commentary. He gives, because Midrash is, firstly, the Midrash is written in Hebrew. Sometimes a piece of Aramaic, but it's written in Hebrew. This is why he doesn't make a translation in Hebrew. And he doesn't also give the commentary. It's a part of the Zohar. 22. And sometimes, look, sometimes, as I've said already, that the Zohar speaks about the Zeir yes, and sometimes speaks about the Binah, sometimes about the Keter, or another word that also we use, Chochmah, Malchut. Sometimes he speaks about the Matronita in place of the Malchut. Doesn't matter, but when you study this, you know about what does Zohar speaks about. 22. And now we see what the Zohar says about Zeir, let's say, in other words, in what I call the spiritual, imaginative objects, like heaven, earth. Heaven is, in the language of the Zohar, is Zeranpin, as we have learned already. Earth is the Malchut, etc. 22. After the last point. V'zeh shomer, and this is what Zohar says. Miktsei 23 hashamayim le'eila. So the Zohar wants now to position this, the place of the Yishsut. V'zeh shomer, this is what the Zohar says, Miktsei hashamayim le'eila, at the end, 23, of the heaven above, the kula kaima barishuta, that everything stands in his rule, in his power, or in his territory. 24. And now he explains this to us. Azad de Bina, the 7 lower sphirot of the Bina, Shehen Nikraot Yishsut, that they are called Yishsut. V'Nikraot Mi, and they are called also Mi. Hen 25 Pchinat Ktseh HaShamayim le'Eila. They are the aspect of the uiteinde, letterlijk, the end of the heaven above. Why? Look, the end of the heaven above. Ki hashamayim, hem 26 Zeranpin, because hashamayim, the heaven, in the Hebrew it is plural, the heaven. Because the heaven are Zeranpin. Vehu mekabel rak meyishsut, and he, Zeranpin, receives only from Yishsut, anikrami, which that is called Mi. And of course the Yishsut is standing above the Zeranpin, who gives to another one, stands above the one who receives. So if Zeranpin is receiving from Zeranpin, is Shama Shamayim, is heaven. This is why the Zohar positions the Yishsut as the above, as the line or the end of the heaven, fire end, yes, far end, oh yes, far end of the heaven above, because this far end of the heaven above means the upper, actually the ceiling, we could say the ceiling of the Zeranpin, the upper boundary of the Zeranpin. It means the place, how do you call it, this place? The Zeranpin stands normally from the tabor and beneath and below. Then it means that this far end of the Hashamayim, of the heaven, of the Zeranpin, Above him is the line of the, let's say, the tabor. 27. ועל כן נקרא המי קצה השמיים לעילה. דחולה 28 קיימה ברישותה כי השמיים והארץ שהם 29 זון וכן הגימל העלמין ביה התחתונים. כולם 30 מקבלים מישסות הזה הנקרא מי. ועל כן 31 כולה קיימה ברישותה. Look what he says. The Zohar gives us the feeling for, teaches us the feeling, how to feel the spiritual feeling. About these spiritual from items, spiritual objects. 27. Valken, and this is why Nikra Hami. This is why the Mi, or Yishsut, is called Ketseh HaShamayim Le'ela, the far end of the heaven above. Because actually there is also, of course, we can say, if the Zohar says the far end of the heaven above, there must be also the far end of the heaven below. This is why the Zohar speaks above, so above the heaven above this is Iranpin. The Hula 28 Kaima Bereshute. Okay, look what the Zohar says, that everything stands in its power. Or in Reshut means also the governing, but also the territory. That everything stands in its, we can say it, governing in his might, in his power. Okay. Ki hashamayim, and now he explains it to us. Ki hashamayim v'ha'aretz. Because the hashamayim v'ha'aretz, learn these words. The heaven and the earth, Shahem 29 zon, that they are zon, Zeranpin and Nukwa. Vehen Zeranpin and Nukwa of the world Atzilut, of course. Vehen and also Hagimil Almin Bia Atachtonim, the three worlds, Bia, the lower worlds. Kulam 30 mekablim yishsudaze, look what he says. All of them receive from this yishsud. Hanikrami, that is called mi. Va'arken, and this is why 31 kula kaima berishuta, everything stands in its power, in its territory. There are different meanings of this reshuta. Look how he says in the line 30. So he says that everything all of them receive from Yishsud Hazeh, from this Yishsut. I mean, like he says that here he speaks about Yishsut as in singular. And in some other place he speaks about the Yishsut in plural, because Yishsut has two parts, masculine and feminine. Yisrael Saba, masculine, and Tfuna is feminine. So two of them is plural. But now he speaks about, he says, this Yishsut. So just look at these things, small things, and this extra, it gives extra information. We will not stand with this, we just go further. 32. But look what he says about this Yishsut, that everything, all of them, zone of Atzilut, and the three worlds, lower worlds, Bia, the lower Bia, you see, he says lower Bia, in order that we would not think that he speaks about the Bia, the higher Bia, the Bia, Bria Yitzera and Asiya of the world Atzilut. This is why he speaks about the lower Bia. And this is also very important to look at every word. This is spirituality. Why he says Bia, lower Bia? There is always lower Bia, there is only one Bia. No, then we know already that there is also Bia, a higher Bia in the Atzilut. 32. You see, the real spirituality doesn't make you dance and springing and over joyful. It is a joy from the heart, from that is hidden, concealed, and cover it. This last one is very important. A covered joy. The joy that has tikkun, and not is an exhibitionistic joy that just is a kind of nakedness, naked joy. Look, it's very important. 32. וזה שאומר לעילה, לתמן שאלה, והי 33, קצה השמיים, יקרא מי. 32. וזה שאומר, and this is what Zohar says, לעילה, above, let Taman Sheila, there is no, over there is no question. V'hai Ketse Hashamayim, and this far end of the heaven, Yikre Mi, is called Mi. Double point. Klomar. Le'ela 34 דהיינו הגר דבינה שהן אבא ואמא לליין. Let 35 תמן שאלה כי הם אינם מקבלים מן 36 להמשכת חוכמה להיותם בעצם רק בחינת 37 אור chassadim, ve'einam mechusarei chochma. Ve'al ken, einam 38, nikraim mi, gam einam bchinat ktsei hashamayim. Ki hem 39 einam nizkakim lezon hatzrichim leharat achochma. 33 after the double point. Klomar, that means le'ela, above. What does it mean? Above, what he says, that above there is no question. What does it mean? Above 34, dehainu, that means hagarde bina, the garde bina, she hen aboima line, that they are the higher aboima. You see, he calls it a higher aboima. Why is it a higher aboima? Because, of course, Yishsut, when the Yishsut on its own, it has 10 sferot, and it has also aboima, Yishsut, but of their own. This is why it is called aboima, lie in the higher aboima. By the way, so what he says, that le'ele above, that means the garde bina, that they are the higher aboima, 34 at the end, let 35 taman shila. There is no question over there. And you imagine from within yourself where the aboima is standing. 35. Ki hem einam mikablim man. Why is it not? Why there is no question over there? Why they are don't standing? Why do they not stand to receive the question? It means the man from the zone. Look. Ki hem einam mikablim man, because they, the higher aboima, einam mikablim man, don't receive man, the request. 36 laham shachat chochma, for the drawing of the chochma, in order to draw the chochma to the zone. Liyotam ba'etzem rak b'chinat or chasadim, because they are themselves only the aspects 37 or chasadim, the light or chasadim. Ve'inam chosrei chochma, and they don't lack chochma. But we know that the zone, it's my addition, what I want to say to you, that the zone needs chokhmah, of course. Chokhmah with chasadim, of course. But they themselves, the aboima, the higher aboima, they don't lack the chokhmah. Valken, and this is why Einam 38 Nikraim Mim. This is why they are not called me, because me is mem yud, is a word that means who, and who is a question, a word of question. Applies to putting a question. Me, who? Gam einam bivchinat ketzea shamayim, they are neither the aspect of ketzea shamayim, of the far end of the heaven. Kihem 39. Einam nizakakim lezon, because they are not, there is no need in them. The zon doesn't have need in them. Hatzrichim, which zon need leharat chokhmah, because the zon need the shining of the chokhmah, and because the abuim only chasadim, they don't need them. Why don't they need them? Because the Iranpin has plenty chasadim. He receives chasadim. He is chasadim. He Chagat of the Ziyanpin. He is actually the Gar of Chasadim, Gar on his own place. In the body has enough Chasadim. Forty. Verak Hazat Shehen Yeshsud. Shehem Kaimin Lesheila. So it means that if the zone doesn't need the higher Abouima, because they don't give them the Chokhmah directly, not, then it means that the zone doesn't rise up the man to Abouima for receiving the Chokhmah. 40. Verak Hazat, and Shehem Yishsud. Shehem Kaimin Lesheila. 41. Deainu lekabel man mihazon velaalot lerosh de arichanpin. 42. Lekabel bishvilam harat chokhma al ken nivchanim. 43. Lekce hashamayim leela mishum shazeiran pin hanikra. 44. Shamayim mekabel mihem. 40. Virak hazat, and only zat, the 7 lower sfirot. Shehen yishsud of the bina. Shehen yishsud, that they are yishsud. Shehem kaimin l'shila, that they are standing to receive the question. 41. Dehainu, that means, lekabel man mihazon, to receive man from the zone. Velaalot lerosh, and to bring this zone, and to bring this man to the rosh of the arichanpin. 42. Lekabel bishvilam harat chokhmah, in order to receive for them, for the zone, the shining of the chokhmah. Al ken. This is why nivchanim 43 lekce hashamayim le'ela, they are considered to be lekce hashamayim le'ela, as far end of the heaven above, mishum she'azir anpin, because, why? Because the Zeir Anpin is called for Shamayim, because the Zeir Anpin is called Shamayim, the heaven, Mikabel Mehem, that receives from them, from Yeshut. This is why the far end of the heaven of the Zeir Anpin is called Yeshut. One grade above the heaven is Yeshut. And now you will be careful when you will read the Psalms of the King David, and other places, in the Torah, wherever, when you will hear that something like, and your glory is above the heaven, then you will know where this is situated. That this is not just grotesque, so high, but the Torah doesn't speak in grotesques. I don't know whether it's also in English, again, English word, maybe another word. But you will know that where it is, that above the heaven means Yeshut. You see, and in this way, Yeshut provides Chokhmah to the zone of Atzilut, and the zone of Atzilut gives it further to the Bia, to all the creatures, to all the powers and the souls of the tzaddikim, of the pious souls that are in the Bia. And of course, a very small piece of this that is called Ner Dakik, a small candle, like a small light, a very, very small light, like a little bit nefesh, comes also into our world, into this world. It means passes the point of this world and comes to this world where we are standing, the most coarse place in all the reality. Why it comes here? There is no spirituality here. Look at this. All the world speaks about there is spirituality, and they're speaking about the spirituality. In this world, there is no spirituality. This world is under the point of the where the Malchut ends. It means under the point of the Kav of Ein Sof. It means under the Malchut of the world Asiya, and up till the Malchut of the world Asiya, there are spiritual worlds. There is also gradation, of course, between them, but still there is something, the spirituality comes. In our world, absolutely not. but only a little bit light, like nefesh, comes in our world. And look how this world uses this a bit of this kedusha, a bit of this light of holiness, all this in the during all the history of the mankind, all the achievements, all the Nobel Prizes, everything what was created during these 6,000 years of the creation, and will be created, are only due to this very, very small light, like nefesh. And which nefesh? There is also a great difference between nefesh and nefesh. Which nefesh? The nefesh that falls in our world. This is what we can find in the objects of all the creatures that are here. All the wishes are also satisfied also by this a little bit nefesh. Eating, drinking, sex, the wish for richness, for power, for might, for power, and for the science, come only from this a small, very small light of derivated light of the nefesh. And before we end this lesson, maybe several words general words about the correction. What we need to correct and how we need to correct. Actually, what we need to correct. How we will study more and more. From the world of Atzilut, we have every partzuf, everything that lives has 10 sferot. That are divided, a partzuf as it were, that is divided in above the chazeh and under the chazeh. And now look, above the chazeh needs only chasadim. This is what we are learning here. Above the chazeh, only chasadim. The chasadim, that it means that above the chazeh, like Chagat, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, they need only chasadim, they don't need chokhmah. This is the kilim that are constructed like this. These are also the lighter kilim. This is only one of the reasons why they don't need the chokhmah. And the Binah provides them with the chasadim, and the Binah is gar. Binah comes from the head. So it gives enough light and enough protection for them that they have tikkun, they have the correction. It means enough light for the category of kilim, and no chitzonium, no outsiders, and the klipot can come to them, can grasp them, and this is enough for them. And the chokhmah is hidden within this binah. And the Binah stretches the Gar de Binah. Yesod the Binah stretches till the point of the Chazeh. So, stretches means that she protects them. And they have enough in here. But under the Chazeh, no. Under the Chazeh we have Chasadim that are open. Above the Chazeh we call them the covered Chasadim, covered from Chokhmah. But under the Chazeh there is no influence of the Binah. We will see that there is not quite like this, but in the middle line, no. Because we will see how the right and left side, Netzach and Hod, they are covered by the Binah. They have also some protection by the Binah, we will see, but not in the middle line. And what is then the correction under the Chazeh? Under the Chazeh must also receive light, but this light is Chasadim with a bit of the Chokhmah. And this is why this is achieved under the Chazeh through the middle line. And who is in the middle line? Is Yesod. And the Yesod has this great quality, because it is the middle line. It draws to itself both from the right side Chasadim and from the left side Gvorot. The Gvorot is Chokhmah, that is actually like Chokhmah, but the Chokhmah that suits to the lower. The lower zone can't get Chokhmah, real Chokhmah. Chokhmah is, you can find the Chokhmah in the head of the Partzuf, the real Chokhmah. I mean in here all glory and power as the light of the goal of the creation. But when it comes to the zone, of course they are weaker. So they taste the Chokhmah as Gvorot. And Yesod has it in his right hand, he has Chasadim, and in his left he has Gvorot. And then this Yesod gets this, and Chasadim and Gvorot, how we will learn this, and makes Or Choser above, and opens, as it were, the Netzach and Hod, their covenants, because they are normally covered by the Binah, but then it opens them, and then all the Nehi, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod, they get a new one, and new ones, and new Netzach, Hod, and Yesod, when the light Chasadim with a piece of Chokhmah comes under the Chazeh. Then over there, they create a new Netzach, Hod, Yesod. New means nothing disappears in the spirituality. Because of this, what I said to you, that the Yesod rises up, or Choser, and opens by that the Netzach and Hod, and so then they have additional Netzach, Hod, Yesod that can receive this Chasadim with the Chokhmah. This is the a general description of the correction. Everything is corrected, must be corrected in this way.